Hello and welcome. My name is Edward Roberts. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I wanted to discuss something that's kind of stresses me out day to day, and that is the feeling of not having enough time in the day, not enough hours in the day to accomplish both the things that I need to do, the required things, everything from brushing your teeth, getting kids to school, working a 9-to-5 job, things like that, as well as things around your household, even just basic things. If you don't own a full-sized home and have yard work to worry about, there's still cleaning, dusting, laundry, those kinds of things. Day-to-day inconveniences and tasks that take your time away from what you really want to be doing. And I'm not saying we should all have, an army of monkey butlers doing everything for us, but one thing that would be nice is just to have a little bit more time to myself to be able to do the things that I want to do in a day. And I mean truly want to do things like reading, enjoying a nice cup of tea, playing video games, watching movies. If you're into TV shows, these are things that we would rather be spending our time with on a superficial level. How about a deeper level of spending time with friends and family, forming bonds and relationships and spending time with loved ones, going on hikes, seeing things. And I'm not talking about fabulous vacations and things that cost a lot of money. I'm talking about things, just normal things, everyday things in your day-to-day life that you just tend to put on the back burner of the stovetop, as we should say, when things are up front and seemingly more important. Now, I compare this more to just like a vehicle or a cart rolling down the track. If the wheel falls off, you got to stop and put it back on. And that's day-to-day life for me. And that's, you need to pay the bills. You need to keep the dust bunnies out of the corners of your living room, things like that. But I just wish there was more time in the day to just live, not to sound super dramatic. I have this thing going on in my brain. It's been a while. I say recently in life, but not, the last few days. This has been in my later years of life. I feel like if I think about my day, if I overanalyze my day too much based in pockets of time, of how much I spend doing this, that, and the other, I feel like I could have a small panic attack about how little time seems to be left over for me to do what I want to do in a day. So let's take this past Sunday that just passed here for me. Sunday is a day off of work. It's a day to relax and spend time with family, but it's also a day I find that I am free to get these other things done. I work, I have a 9-to-5 job, unfortunately. That takes up a lot of my time, but I wish I had more time for, just even making this video today. It wasn't procrastination, it was other things throughout my day, and it was on my mind that I wanted to make this video, and ironically, there was things coming up in the day that just kept me from doing it. So here I am now sitting in front of you, a little bit flustered and a little bit later in my day than I would like to have been, but I guess that really sets the spiritual tone and nature of what I'm trying to impart. Is it's tough to find these moments. I love making these videos. I love connecting with you and sharing things. Now, I'm not some educated savant or philosopher. I'm just a guy on YouTube who has lived quite a few years. You see the gray up here. I'm no spring chicken, and I've lived a pretty interesting life. Had some interesting experiences and have gone through a lot of things that I think others go through. So I like to make these videos to share myself with anybody who cares to see. And listen, I guess I should say. But getting back to the panic attack. So if I think about that Sunday, I got up and as soon as I opened my eyes, it sounds, again, ridiculous, but I feel like there's an entity standing at the foot of my bed with a club. And he's like, yep, time to get up. And that entity is with me throughout my day, just sort of giving me a little crack on the back or the ribs or the knees to keep me progressing through the day, doing the things I don't really want to do. And there's always that dangled carrot of a promise of, you do this, 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 and this, and then the day will be yours. Well, fast forward through the day, I had some errands to run and some things to do. It got to a point where it was closing in. The sun was long down. It was pushing, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And there was still more to do. I had to physically just say, no, enough is enough. I'm done. I've done enough. The guy with the bat, you can take a hike, go back to your closet, your tormented corner, wherever you come from, and leave me alone. I'm watching a movie. And that's what it took. I had to put my foot down to life and just say, I'm done. You've had me on the go now for, 20 12 to 15 hours here and I'm done. So you look at a day, yes, we have to sleep. There's 8 hours of 24 that is taken away from you. And I'm not wishing sleep away. Sleep is a chance for your body and mind to rejuvenate. And I climb into bed at the end of the day and it's just cozy. I climb in and pull the covers up and I don't know why I was fighting it all day, because it seems like that's the shutdown of the day, the end of the time you have in the day, but it's cozy and it's nice. I'm not wishing away sleep. What I am wishing away is, honestly, I hate to even say this because it makes me sound spoiled and like I'm better than everybody else. I know we all have to work for a living, but I'm so tired of it. And it's not that there's anything wrong with my job. And as far as a job goes, I would say I enjoy being there and I like what I do. But at the same time, there's 8.5 hours in a day that I could be doing anything else. And I just think about that big pocket of time and how nice it would be to not have to be trapped there. And that's honestly how it feels. I feel like I walk in the door of my workplace and they kind of put a shackle around my ankle and waggle their finger and say, you're not going anywhere until 5:30. And that fills me with a whole nother level of stress. Maybe I'll get into that in another video, but I'm just saying those two things are a large pocket of the day. There's at least 16 hours to 17 hours of your day, regardless of, how much you might sleep or how long your workday is. But my workday is the standard 40, 45 hours per week, every week, with minimal holidays and respite from that. So I think about the beautiful place where I live and how much I would love to just strap on my hiking boots and head out off a trail somewhere and just take in nature, take some photographs, maybe make one of these videos outside of the confines of this room. And there's just not enough time in the day to do that. And that thought stresses me out. And doing the math on a day of how much time I do have to do the things I want to do versus the things I have to do seems like a very one-sided scale. That Sunday I was complaining about moments ago, I had 2 hours. So in a 24-hour period, I had 2 hours to myself that I had to demand. That wasn't a ask, that wasn't an assumption, that wasn't even a promise. I had to demand those 2 hours. So I knew when I went to work Monday morning, I would at least have some really positive time and memory of my Sunday, because if I had continued working as my schedule had dictated I should have, I would have gone to bed exhausted and woken up probably pretty ticked off that my entire Sunday was gone doing things that I really didn't want to do. So I'm sure I'm not the only one out there feeling this way, and I find I make these videos with a lot of complaining about what I'm going through or what I've gone through without offering a lot of solution. And I'm going to try to work on that, but this is definitely one video where I do not have a solution. I'm working on it right now. I am trying to find other ways to live my life, being more thrifty with my time, I guess, when it comes to my possessions, lending things out to people, being there for people, loaning money, giving money, whatever that might be. I'm quite a generous person, but when it comes to my time, I find I'm very greedy, and it just comes from the sake of me not having what I feel is enough. If time were food, I feel like I'm getting 1 square meal a day, and that's just not enough. So you're not the only one out there experiencing it. I'm middle-aged and I'm still experiencing it. I laughed with a friend the other day and I said, anybody still working a 9-to-5 job after 55 made some real mistakes in their life. And I didn't say that saucily to insult anyone. I was more reflecting on myself, thinking of the different paths I could have taken and different choices I could have made to probably be fully retired in my 40s and 50s, which honestly, thinking about that now would just be nirvana. It would be ecstasy to wake up every day and just think to myself, what do I want to do today? That's my dream, honestly, is just that one sentence, to be able to wake up and say to myself, what do I feel like doing today? Because every single day of my life, that has not been the case. Those odd moments where I do get a week off from my job on holidays, I still find I'm trying to stuff as much in of backlogged things that weren't done. Again, chores, running errands, things like that. And it's honestly, it's frustrating and it feels constricting and suffocating at times. I have a beautiful life. I have a family who I love very much, and I don't wish any of that away. I just wish that I had more time to do the things I want to do, and I absolutely know I am not alone out there. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed just hanging out with me and listening to me vent, I guess, without offering any real solution to this issue, but I'm working on it, and if you're working on it too, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're coping. Let me know, hey, maybe you're on the other side of this tunnel. Usually when I make these videos, it's about a past experience that I've overcome. This is something that I am deep in the bog. I'm up to my neck in mud, and if anybody out there has some advice for me on how to maybe be free and have some more time in my day, I would really appreciate hearing from you. If you want to stay connected to me, please consider subscribing to the channel, and until next time, thanks for joining me. Take care.